It's Tuesday, August 18, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. So glad you could join us. A fatal shooting rocked the rural parish of St. John today. In the community of Baflan, a young man was killed by an assailant this afternoon. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Inspector Rodney Innes, updated reporters at the scene.
A man was shot was at a shop here in the area. On arrival, several of our units responded, and we got here rather early. The ambulance as well was summoned, and they got here as well. But sadly, what we confirmed was the motionless body of an adult male, a 30-year-old male.
Meanwhile, Inspector Blackman Allen of the Southern Division issued an appeal to anyone with information about the incident to contact police.
It is unfortunate that, this kind of wicked shootings are happening now in the rural sector of Barbados. It is never a good thing for a close-knit community, one such as Welch, to be here this afternoon to, deal with a situation that is impacting the whole community. You can see the residents are around. Everybody is in shock to know that this thing could have happened in the middle of the day when everyone is actually at home. You have the youngsters at home, families at home. This is a serious, serious situation. And I know that as part of the government, we are doing every single thing that is possible to grapple with this gun shooting and this, gun violence that is overtaking the country. Well, not overtaking the country, but is rampant at all levels of society now.
In other news, this Tuesday was a day of relief for the country's 11-year-olds as Education Minister Cynthia Bradshaw revealed the results of the Common Entrance Examination. Despite the disruption to regular classes triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic, she noted that this year's results were on par with those of recent years. She told reporters at this morning's press conference that COVID-19 seemingly had little impact.
We haven't seen a drastic difference in the numbers. And so I don't know that I can say that there has been a significant difference in the scores of the students. We've always known we had some challenges with the performance of students at both levels. The ministry has been taking steps to ensure that both in English and Maths that we drill down to allow our teachers to be retooled to be able to deliver instruction in a more interesting way. And hence why we've introduced things like coding as well to teachers, because they too, in a lot of the sessions that we've done with them, have recognized that children use technology in their day-to-day lives, and we have to be able to make learning similar to what they're doing in their playtime.
Most of the overall top performers came from private schools. 6 students from private schools registered in the top 10 results. 9 of the 17 top performers in English, as well as 9 of the 22 in mathematics, all hail from private schools. Minister Bradshaw brought down the results.
This year, the national mean in mathematics is 58.24. It has declined by 3.34 points from 2019, which was 61.58. In 2018, the national mean was 62.46. Female performance dropped by 4.7 from 65.26 in 2019 to 60.93. In 2018, it was 65.26. Similarly, the performance from males has dipped by 2.33 points from 57.88 in 2019 to 55.55 in 2020. In 2018, it was 59.73. The decline in the students' overall performance in mathematics has been observed in a number of public schools which perform above the national mean. This year has seen some disruption to the core group of schools that are consistent with their performance above the national mean. A few schools which consistently perform below the mean have made their way above the mean. Similarly, a few schools which normally perform above the mean have fallen below the mean. What has remained constant, however, is that over the last 3 years, the majority of public schools, 44 in total, continue to perform below the national mean, whereas the majority of private schools, 23 in total, continue to perform above the national mean.
Barbados Today caught up with some of the overjoyed students and their parents. We start with the island's top students from St. Gabriel's.
We're here with the top girl in the island of Barbados, Ayobami Leon Barker. How do you feel?
I feel really happy that I'm the top girl. Yeah.
And you'll be heading to Harrison College. Was that your top pick?
Yeah, I wanted to go to Harrison College because of the swim team, and because it's the top school, so I really like it.
And what was your preparation like for common entrance during the COVID-19 pandemic? What did you do?
So we were preparing on Zoom because we couldn't go to school in real life. So we were doing mock exams every week and doing other activities. And we would go to school from 8:30 to 2:30.
Okay, and when you heard your results today, what was your expression? What did you do?
I started to jump around because I was really happy because I was nervous for most of it. Most of it, I was like really nervous. I was like, I really want good marks. So when they came out and it was a top girl, I was so excited.
Mom, I see you there beaming with
yes, of
with
course.
pride and joy.
Of course.
How was the preparation like?
Well, she's been working consistently since she has been at St. Gabriel's. And her teacher, Mrs. Thornton, her J4 teacher, she has been doing an excellent job with her. But I never attended lessons or what's not. She has just been, as I said, working consistently and applying herself and balancing because she's a very well-rounded individual. She still swims and plays the piano. She plays a steel pan. She's in student council. Yeah, so she's just managing her time really, really, really well.
We're here with Ishmael Aline, one of the top 10 in the whole island for the common entrance examination. Ishmael, tell me, when you heard the news, what was your reaction?
My initial reaction was just shock because I did not expect to get top 10 in the island.
And you're going to the Queen's College.
Yes.
Was that your top choice?
Yes, because it's the best school in Barbados.
Hi, Sonia, you just got your results. You're going to the college and Paris School. How does it feel?
Good. Very good.
This is the school that you always wanted to go to?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
What, is there any particular reason you wanted to go there?
Yes, because it's a chill school that don't got like bullying and everything like that. They got a lot of like subjects and things I want to do at that school.
What did you do when you got those results?
Well, when I heard the announcement, I screamed and I was jumping up and running around all around my house.
Did you want to go to QC?
Yes.
Why did you want to go to QC?
Well, first of all, it's like really close to my house and it's one of the top schools in Barbados and my best friend is there.
Okay, fantastic. And what was your preparation like for common entrance?
For the months coming down to common entrance, it was mostly just doing online school and past papers after past papers and cutting down on the amount of electronics I used to use.
Okay, and with vacationing now and you're heading into school now, you're excited to be heading into QC?
Extremely excited.
Our news team also spoke with Keyshawn Thomas, who was the victim of cyberbullying last month, and he's quite happy.
It feels good.
Okay, what school did you pass for?
I passed for Ellerslie.
And that wasn't the school you wanted to go to, but you're happy to be going there?
Yes, please. I would like to say thank you to everyone who was supporting me.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, Trinidad and Tobago will witness a swearing-in of Dr. Keith Rowley and his cabinet tomorrow. And Rowley signals he's ready to get back to work, but he's not revealing too much about his ministerial lineup. Karen Cozier-Phillips of TTT News tells us more.
The recount of ballots in the constituency of St. Joseph was completed on Monday night, giving way for the party with the majority of seats in the House of Representatives to be sworn in as the next government. Dr. Keith Rowley will be sworn in for a second consecutive term as Prime Minister on Wednesday. He says there will be changes to his cabinet based on initiatives identified in the PNM's manifesto. Dr. Rowley says there will be an element of continuity in the government, while some of the newly elected members of parliament can also be expected to take on significant responsibility.
One of the areas that you would see is the area of agriculture. You would see us trying to give agriculture a bit of a center stage because we intend to do a lot of work in agriculture. And if you don't see it tomorrow, you'll see it later on. And also the question of digitalization.
The Prime Minister-elect is relieved that the general election 2020 is finally over and he can begin to focus on the future of Trinidad and Tobago. On the topic of the recount in 5 marginal seats, he chastised the United National Congress for what he says was an exercise in futility.
But to go out of your way to tarnish the officers and the entity, I think you're crossing the line there.
On the international front, soldiers in Mali have detained the country's president as well as the prime minister and other top officials in an apparent coup attempt. We get the details from CNN.
Now, it appeared to get going in the early hours of the morning at a military barracks close to Bamako, some 15 kilometers away from Bamako, and then throughout the day a great deal of confusion. Government bureaucrats asked to go home, told to go home. There was early rumors that this was yet another mutiny, possibly a coup. And just a moment ago, you had the African Union, the head of the commission there, condemning what he said was the arrest of the president, President Keita, the prime minister, several government ministers. Unclear exactly where their location is right now. There has been some looting in the capital, including citizens going and helping themselves to items from the Justice Minister, a building owned by the Justice Minister in the capital. And now this comes after months of protest, in fact, by the opposition, by ordinary Malians, upset with the results and then intervention by the Constitutional Court in an April legislative election.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.